pulses, a seed of purity in a barren land. In the 1970s, Taman Jurong was mainly coastal swamplands. Industrialization development in this area had just begun. A barren land in this estate marks the beginning of Yuanqing Secondary School.
因为有这两个云清的名字呢，我的校训就是 school motto 就从那边来，就是现在所用的今日跟云，云就是第一个，明日长青。
On 28 August 1980, Yuanqing was officially declared open by the then Member of Parliament for Taman Jurong, Mr. Ho Kah Leong. Yuanqing aspires to provide a holistic education for our students. This would not have been possible without the efforts of a team of dedicated and committed staff during the early days.
我在迎青中学已经服务了38年，从1977年到现在。那时候因为物资缺乏，我需要自己亲手烧玻璃细管给学生做试验。
在1978年加入迎青中学，多年来在师长的鼓励下和本身对工作的热忱与坚持，在这里已经服务了37年了。迎青中学建立初期，我们没有自己的公益室，我们的学生被安排去伊朗中学上公益课。当时的周校长为了学生的安全，限定我们在短期内必须要建立自己的公益室。那时候物资比较缺乏，许多事情的办完都要靠着热忱和干劲才能完成的。我们终于如期完成了让学生快乐的在自己的学校上课。
I joined the service in 1968. At that time, we had no computers, printers, or photocopying machines to produce worksheets. We used typewriters, and the printed quality of the paper was poor. As a new country, we had limited finance. Occasionally, we paid for the worksheets. There were no projectors and laptops. We had to draw the diagrams on the board with chalk.
1980年我是迎青的代课老师，1982年我正式加入迎青中学。那时候教的班级很多，那么有时候呢，我们要自己动手制作教具，才能够教好学生。那么我在这里呢，已经度过了33年。那么学习是无止境的，只要你肯学，你可以学到很多东西。
我们学校是在伊朗镇里面一个工业区里面，那么中间呢，总共有12个学生手牵手，12个学生是代表4大民族，每4个人就是代表一个种族，他们围起来圆圈，就形成了中间一个好像太阳一样，表示这些学生在一间新的学校里面、新的环境里面成长。而齿轮这个呢，也代表知识的一个时代的一个大巨轮，大家同心协力推动这个巨轮。
Over the years, Yuanqing has grown to be a vibrant and dynamic learning community in tandem with the development of the Taman Jurong community.
The other thing I felt that the students need would be identity with the school. We made a pond for them with a bridge, and this pond became the focal point for the students.
学生不管好坏，只要有好的教育，就能够成才。不一定要每个学生成名，就要紧每个学生成为一个好公民。我看我们的目的就达到了。
Our pioneers of Yuanqing showed exceptional resourcefulness, resilience, and sense of responsibility in the early years to lay a strong foundation for the school. But will we stand the test of time? Growing against the torrent of adversity, growing against the drought of calamity, never yielding, never relenting. Our sporting talents in the 1980s.
Okay, when I started in Yuanqing many years back, I got the chance to observe my pioneers in action. Those days, we did not have very good facilities like what you see here, a sheltered basketball court, and upstairs another covered area. we had just a parade square, and our pioneers then they have improvised. The parade square became our basketball court, our volleyball court, and also our driveway around the school field became our Yanqing track. Okay, even without these modern facilities that we have now, they were also able to take care of their CCA, guide their students, train them. I'm very impressed with their dedication, commitment, spending weekends training our students, and with basic facilities, they even can produce champions, zonal champions and national champions. So our pioneers, for example, Mr. Wong Sek Leong, the teacher in charge of volleyball, there was no volleyball court, but just simply tying the net using the building pillar and the portable basketball poles. That was our volleyball court. And the parade square, the other half was become our basketball court, and that was Mr. Yai Gard. Okay, not to mention my HOD there, Mr. Ng Lai Chi, with very basic facilities, using the driveway as a track, even train our student to be a champion steeplechase runner using the driveway and the rostrum as a steeplechase. And one person I also like to mention was Mr. Yo Hock An. Though he just left Yanqing, but he still came back to coach our school's track and field athletes. You can see the commitment there and the passion he showed in his sports area.
Our pioneers strive to provide the best for our students, often going beyond their call of duty.
I'd like to pay tribute to those who have contributed significantly to Yanqing Secondary. At the top of the list will be Principal Ms. Chong and Vice Principal Mr. Gomez. It was challenging to attract students to come to Yanqing then. At one time, we only had one express class of 30+ students. I remember also others who stood together in those difficult times. Mrs. Wong Yen Yen, Mr. Daniel Ong, Madam Koo Gyok Poon, Mr. Hon Tin Hon, Madam Yak Guan Eng, Mr. Lim Fang Kwang, Mr. Tan Kok Chiu, just to name a few. They stayed on, put their heads together, strived together, and the staff rallied together and turned the school around.
Between 2000 to 2004, Yuanqing achieved a breakthrough with our students' sterling value-added performance in the GCE examination.
In 1998 December, I took over the school, and at that time the enrollment was dropping and the academic result was not too good, and the image of the school was not too favorable, and there was also limited resources. So I quickly consolidated and decided to move the school from a double session school to a single session school. And rally the staff together, we planned a focused curriculum. In the area of people development, we hold a very firm hand in ensuring that there are good discipline as in school as well as in the immediate environment. And I'm pleased really to have Yanqing being put through the difficult years, and we survived, and we actually were brought up to a higher platform and have kept the Yanqing flag flying high.
The troubled years bear testimony to the unwavering spirit of Yuanqing pioneers. How do we build on this rich legacy of our pioneers in order to develop our students to be ready for the future? Standing steadfast in tenacity, rooted firmly in our values, blossoming into a garden of values, nurturing a thinker, an achiever, and a concerned citizen. Our principles, our legacy of leadership. Providing a student-centric, values-driven education through our academic programs, student development programs, and Learning for Life program.
I studied arts under Mr. Goh Chai Ek. I was not very good in arts and used to fail most tests and exams. But Mr. Goh never gave up on me. If I got a B3 in my N-level exam, the credit is mostly his. I still remember his encouraging words every time I fail. There's the reason I choose to send my child to Yanqing. The resilience that teachers show is a value that I want my son to embody.
I remember I was the only student from my primary school to be posted to Yuanqing back in 1992. I was quite apprehensive and upset then because I didn't know anybody, and Yuanqing wasn't any of my choices at that time. But my teachers had definitely changed my perspective of the school. They were caring and committed in providing the best for us. There were ample opportunities for experiential learning and exposure to cross-cultural skills in many of our school activities. For instance, going on an overseas trip to Perth, Australia in 1994. At that time, school overseas trips were not so common yet. We had limited EduSave to tap on, so as students selected for the trip, we had to raise funds in order to keep the cost of the trip lower. I remember a couple of months before the trip, we washed our teachers' cars, baked cookies and sold ice cream after school to raise funds, and as well as painting our own trip banner. It was hard work, but our teacher in charge, Ms. Chong In Yuan, was always there to guide us and help us. In the process of preparing for a trip, it made us more aware of local and global issues, and we learned to work in teams. During my O-level year, my teachers, Mr. Gary Chu, Mr. Daniel Ong, Mr. Lee Sai Chong, Ms. Ang Mui Kun, to name a few, spent many of their afternoons and sacrificing their weekends giving us extra lessons and small group consultation. Never once did we hear them complain or reject our request for consultation. Every one of my teachers truly showed dedication and passion in nurturing us. Truly appreciate what they have done for me. Yuanqing has made me who I am today, and I'm grateful to be given the opportunity to serve in a place where I have received much from.
As far as Yuanqing is concerned, I've always hoped and aspired that Yuanqing will become a #1 choice for residents in Taman Jurong. First, those who qualify to come to the school, put it as our first choice. Second, those who don't qualify but want to come here. And I think along the lines of P1 registration, we should give some advantage to those who are staying in close proximity to the school. By bringing students who are in the community to the school, you establish a bond. There's a building of a kampong spirit.
The students and staff of yesterday are pioneers of today, but it is you, the students and staff of today's Yuanqing, who will be the pioneers of tomorrow. Let us continue this Yuanqing legacy together.